Hello,
Okay,
everybody, and
cool.
welcome to the Crypto Hipster Podcast. This is your host, Jamil Hassan, the Crypto Hipster, where I bring you founders, entrepreneurs, executives, thought leaders, and very creative people all around the world, artists, you name it. I have an amazing guest today. I'm honored and delighted that this man is joining me. His name is JOTARO. He is the co-founder of JOJO. JOTARO, welcome.
Yeah, hi, nice to meet you. So very happy to join your broadcast and hi to your all audience.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited about this. My audience will be excited about this, and I'm looking forward to speaking with you. Thank you for joining me today. And I'll kick things off and ask you the first question.
Mhm,
It's what is your background, and is it a logical background for what you're doing now?
mhm. Okay, so actually I worked in crypto industry as a DeFi native person because I studied physics in my university and I quit from the PhD to join the crypto. And my first job is to work in a decentralized exchange at 2017. So that's quite early. And I worked as a engineer and I write a lot of smart contracts and market making strategies. And in 2020, I found my own project is Dodo, DODO. And this project runs for like already 4 years and it's still one of the top decks among all the chains. And it's like invested by like Binance, Coinbase, Pantera, and it's listed on Binance. And now I started another project. So Dodo is still in running and managed by my partners. And I'm here to like found another project focus on perpetual trading, but not spot trading. It's still a perp dex called JOJO. Yeah, it's a perp dex. Uh, yeah, that's basically how I entered this industry and why I found JOJO.
Great. So my next question is, what is JoJo all about? What does it mean to be a Dex? And how is your pioneering hybrid liquidity model work?
Yes. So when after I started Dodo for a few years, I realized that the spot trading has good liquidity, but not good enough. If we want to provide better trading experience for users, the derivatives is the best way, and especially the perpetual contract. Here's the perpetual contract. Someone call it perpetual futures. So it's one of the I think it's the best derivatives. It trades just like a spot, but the liquidity is like 5 times or 10 times better than the spot market. And I used a lot of perpetual dexes at that time. Some of them are still the leading products now, and I feel that they have a lot of limitation, and I can build something better than them with more open architecture and more and better liquidity and better user experience. So I start JoJo, this new project, to try to move forward, like provide better DI, especially for perpetual trading. And uh, the core of this new architecture is called the smart contract order. It can help us building a totally complete liquidity layer. So what it means is you can insert any kind of script in your order, and this script will be executed by EVM, by fully on-chain. And so you can actually implement any kind of liquidity model in this architecture, including like DYDX, GMX, or Hyperliquid, anything you like, because the script can be anything. And it's totally complete, means that you can nearly do any, like solve any questions in this script. Well, if there is no script in this order, it just performs like a normal order book. And if there are some scripts like, oh, check the chain price and set a price off or like a price impact based on my inventory, that is something like JMX. So by building this, we could empower the open source community that involve them in us, that building any kind of liquidity model they think that is useful. And we also focus on the user experience because we have building the DEXs for really several years. Like for me, I built it for 7 or 8 years until since I entered this industry. So I know it's very important to make the product user friendly, that's easy to use, but not something like something looks like a theory, a beautiful theory, but it's very hard to use and understand. So we make a lot of effort to make it as simple as possible for the end users, but it's also very open and has the most powerful architecture for those developers.
Interesting. And what is this grid? What is this grid bot? Is part of this?
What? Sorry.
What is the grid bot? Is this part of this infrastructure? The grid bot?
Okay. Gridbot is just one of the use case. One of the use case of the order smart order smart contract order. So the Gridbot is actually something that helps you like sell with a high price and buy when the price is low. So it's automatically executed by our backend, and you just so you open a sub account that is some smart contract that can hold orders for you, and then give us the permission to execute some strategies that is called the grid trading strategies for you. So this grid bot is very suitable for the for the market status with low volatility. Like normally when the market is very tedious, there is no volatility, you cannot earn, even if you are trading with 10 times the leverage. But with the grid bot, you can earn from the very low volatility that you sell and buy with only a few bips spread, but you can earn several times a day. So yeah, so this product is very useful for those experienced users that they know that even like they can earn in different market status. And it's just one of the very small part of our architecture is a very useful use case. And we designed that to show people that like how to build on top of JOJO and like how to like tune your trading strategies to suit for different markets.
I think that's important to earn. If you're going to take on the additional risk, you should be able to take additional reward.
Yes.
I do have one follow-up. I probably have been wrong about this, but I thought that the only Turing complete crypto blockchain was Bitcoin. You just said you're Turing complete. I guess I'm wrong, right?
Actually, Bitcoin is not Turing complete because you cannot run loops. You cannot run loops in Bitcoin script. So Bitcoin script is something that that is not Turing complete. It can do very limited things. Just why there are a lot of people talking about Bitcoin layer 2, because you cannot run a Turing complete thing on Bitcoin itself. So that is why Vitalik invent start the Ethereum, because Ethereum is Turing complete. So so Bitcoin cannot run loops because they don't have a design of the gas limit so they don't have a design of the virtual machine. But EVM move forward a big step, they make things like Turing complete, and then we saw a lot of new things come out like ERC20, like Uniswap, and all the DeFi protocols, including Dodo and JOJO, that we all build on top of EVM, and that is totally complete.
Got it. So it's Ethereum starting. Okay, so I had things backwards. So thank you. So let's talk about that. You just mentioned base, right? Or
Yes.
so you've seen tremendous trading volume for your perpetual futures on base. What does the growing DeFi ecosystem on base look like?
Yeah. So I think it looks like the early stage of Binance Smart Chain or Arbitrum. So there are few features like first there are a lot of real users. So it's not like some layer 2 that most of them are like people go there to farm the airdrop. But you know that base don't have its native token. So the users are mostly real people and they will have real activities. And there are a lot of like meme coins and high risk prefer users. So that's really interesting. Like meme coins, some people think it has no value, but it actually reflected how active how active is the chain itself. Like only those chains with most active users can like support the growth of meme coin, like Solana. So of course there are enough people there and they have nothing to do but to issue their own meme coins and trade it. And so that's the first point, that they have a lot of real users. Second is the team, the base team, although they come, well, most of them comes from Coinbase, that is a big company, but they act really fast and they really have an open mind and run a base just like a startup. So they are really welcome any kind of crypto projects there, and they support everyone. So that makes the ecosystem grows really fast. If you can check the new deployed smart contract, you will find that Base has the biggest growth. So it's not only about the users, but also the developers. So I think when we talk about a chain, users and developers are mostly the two biggest part, and Base did very good on both sides.
You're the first person to explain why meme coins work on these chains with a lot of users. That makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you would need a lot in order to have high volume, but you also did say, and I want to have this follow up. You said it reminds you of the early days of Binance Smart Chain.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So on Binance Smart Chain, on the early days of DeFi, they didn't use like what they were doing is they were wrapping Litecoin, they were wrapping Bitcoin. They didn't have, like an equivalent to Aave.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, and that goes into the user experience, right? The DeFi on Binance Smart Chain seemed to be a little bit more complex because it
Mm-hmm.
needed. We have not achieved that user experience yet in most DeFi protocols. What's been the growth? What's just the problem still today, and how could we solve it?
Yeah. So I think for DeFi protocols, the biggest issue is still the onboarding question. Like when people come to a DApp, they need to like buy some crypto, and they need to create a new wallet, and the wallet has a private key, and then they need to keep it very carefully, and it's really stressful, especially for new users. So that's why the majority of crypto users still use the centralized exchange or centralized app. But we think it can be solved gradually, and we already make a big progress. For example, in Base, they have a Base smart wallet that can connect directly to the Coinbase. So if you have a Coinbase account and you go to the base chain, it would be very simple that you just use one click to create an account. And this account is like the private key will be separated to two parts, one part on your phone and another part on Coinbase. And you can only use this wallet if you have control of these two parts. So you don't need to worry about like forget the part of yours because you have some method to recover it. And you can use the USDC in your Coinbase account directly. So you don't need to buy any other crypto or buy any other gas. So they will handle everything for you. So that means at least for Coinbase users, it would be very easy to onboarding. And I think the smart wallet will gradually, like it still evolves very fast. And soon we will find that even for normal users, it will be very easy to onboard a DeFi protocol. And from the DApp side, as for like JOJO itself, we made a lot of education and very intuitive design. There are quite a lot of things different in a DApp, like there always be a pending period. So the execution will be needs to be confirmed by the validators, and we need to wait for some time. But it's if you don't show the pending time, the pending logos for the users, they just don't know what happened, and they will be very confused and feels like the DApp is there's something wrong, and especially something wrong with my money, and they will kind of really panic. So there are a lot of things. So you need to make your DApp as active as possible and as intuitive as possible, and also the liquidity. So we are like the liquidity on DEX always be a big problem, and that's because we don't have a good enough tool. And with JOJO's architecture, we already have the very similar liquidity with like Coinbase or Binance, and we can even make it better, make it like competitive or better than centralized exchange by involve the open source community. And I think we sometimes, especially in long tail assets, DEX is already made it better than the CEX, and we are trying to make the perpetual trading better than CEX again.
It's perpetual trading. You are using the hybrid liquidity model, right? Hybrid liquidity
Yes.
through contracts. How can we, what are some of the advantages of that, right? I know the advantages of CFI are. And then how can we best optimize capital efficiency for cross margin systems?
Yeah. So let me introduce a little bit about cross margin. So cross margin means that for example, if you long Bitcoin and long Ethereum at the same time, you have two positions. And these positions, if they share the same collateral, that is called cross margin. For example, if the Bitcoin price go up and you earn from the long Bitcoin, but the Ethereum price going down and you have some loss in the Ethereum position. If they don't share the same collateral, you will find that you need to manage your collateral, like move some collateral from the earning position to the position with loss. So that's really complex and annoying. So we have this cross margin mode. Well, actually, cross margin mode is not something new. So there are a lot of people using it in centralized exchange and especially in traditional financial system, but is is still not popular in the decentralized world. So it's something because that when people design the smart contract, they just don't think about those user experience. They just like design it from a developer thinking that they just separate each positions, and each positions has its own collateral. So that makes the collateral management very complex, and well, it's totally not user friendly. So we designed the cross margin mode from day one and trying to make the experience as smooth as possible.
Interesting. I could have two. Yeah, this wouldn't work for people who are only doing buy and hold long. This was for traders only, right? So that's one of the advantages of the hybrid liquidity, right?
Hmm.
What are some others? Risk reduction,
What, sorry?
risk reduction. What are some other advantages?
Oh, okay. So advantages JOJO.
Yep.
Oh, I see. So actually, uh, let me introduce another feature. So it can help you earn while you are trading. So if you trade in Coinbase or Binance and you deposit some margin, some collateral, and you trade and nothing more. But at JOJO, you can earn from your margin, the passive income. Like that is something very interesting that only happen in DeFi. That you can deposit some like when you deposit your USDC to some lending protocol, they will give you another token like MUSDC or AUSDC. This kind of token is kind of well, you can use that token to redeem back your USDC. And we support that kind of interest bearing assets to be collateral. So that means so that is the composability of DeFi protocols. And you can earn from the lending protocols, and at the same time you can use the you can use that as a collateral and trade Bitcoin or Ethereum long or short as you want. So as we integrate more and more yield protocols, we can bring more and more yield to our trading users. So if they have the similar strategy trading in CEX and DEX, they will just find that they can earn more in a DEX. And that is what we think that only can happen on DEX. Because if you like use users' money to deposit them to other where centralized exchange, that is illegal. That is something that you are you're cheating your users. But in DeFi, because everything is executed on chain by smart contract, so it's totally transparency and totally safe. Like when the users lost and we need to liquidate them, we can just withdraw their fund from another protocols immediately in the same transaction, and that is guaranteed by the smart contract. So yes, a decentralized perpetual future exchange is not just something that's similar to a centralized one. It's safer and it can also provide more profit. So that is a big step towards. So that is what we think the decentralized financial should be. And it should be better than the old one, but not just a copy of the old one.
That makes sense to me. So I want to make sure I understand this correctly.
Yes.
There's many places that can have earning opportunity with your protocol that you didn't have before. One's in composability, one's in the buying just USDC, and one is on you can actually hold and make throughout the day. Those are three new areas that others don't offer, right?
Yes.
It sounds good to me. So I mentioned Bitcoin earlier, right?
Mm,
And a lot of people say that's the only inflation hedge. I disagree. Um, there, I believe there are hedging strategies for DeFi protocols. What are some of those hedging strategies people can use?
I see. So, talking about hedging strategies, um, I think when people think about hedging with Bitcoin, they normally think about hedging the inflation that like they hold Bitcoins and they can get rid of the inflation. But when we're talking about hedge on a perpetual future exchange, it actually it's a wider concept that it means that you want to open or close uh, I mean it means that you want to open a short or long exposure to some price. So if you open a long position with Bitcoin, it can somehow the same with the meaning of hedge the inflation. But also, if someone just want to hold USD and they just somehow like if they are Bitcoin miners and they are worried about that if the Bitcoin price going down, I cannot afford my electricity fee. I cannot afford for the machine's price. How can I avoid that? So they want to like sell the Bitcoin that they even didn't mine. So they can open a short position on perpetual DEX. So that is called hedge. So they open a short position, and if the Bitcoin price going down, they cannot sell the spot as at a high price, but they earn from the short position. So while in total they just don't have the risk of hold Bitcoin. So that is one very typical thing that people can hedge using a perpetual DEX. And people can also use that to like make some funding rate arbitrage. Like if they also normally, uh, well, funding rate arbitrage is a little complex. I will try to explain, and you can decide that whether to show it to the audience. Um, so the perpetual futures has a mechanism called funding rate, and that is means sometimes the long positions should pay to the short positions, and sometimes in reverse. So that is some mechanism that make the perpetual futures price the same with the spot price. And most of the time, it's the long position holders pay to the short position holders. So there will be a strategy that you have USDC, right? And you buy some Ethereum spot. Then you open the short position with the same amount. So in total, you don't have any exposure to Ethereum price, but you will keep earning the funding rate from the long position side. So that means you will have a risk-free passive income from this strategy, the funding rate arbitrage. And that is really popular in professional traders. And we can make it very easy for normal traders to earn from this. We will soon launch a product that can help you convert your USDC to Ethereum and plus a short position. And in total, it's always equal to $1, but it can generate around like 10% APY or sometimes 30% APY, very stable and with no risk. So that's funding rate arbitrage, and it utilizes the hedging strategy in a perpetual DEX. Yeah.
I understand. I like
Yeah,
that.
great.
I like. I don't think anything has no risk though.
Mhm.
You said no risk. There has to be a risk somewhere.
Yeah, the risk actually is the spread. Is the spread. So normally the funding rate will make the perpetual contract price very, very close to the spot price, but it can always be like different. Some people like the long position holders, they just they don't give up. They need to be very, very high funding rate, like 100% APY, but they just don't close. They just don't close the positions, so the price just will be different. And if at this time you close your short position and you sell your Ethereum, you will find there is a negative spread. Sometimes it can be like 10 bips, 20 bips. But I think in worst case I have ever seen is will not be bigger than 100%. 100 bips. You can imagine that if the spread is negative, that means you will that means the APY will be very high, and it's just like deposit in like RV. You have the risk that you cannot withdraw your fund, but you will have a very very good APY. That's the risk, I have to say.
Got it. You're reducing it dramatically. So yeah. So that sounds good. Interesting how you're doing this. Talking about risk. Risk is still a major deterrent to institutional adoption of DeFi, right?
Mm-hmm.
I like the way you explain, you with the USDC and pegging it and using arbitrage risk. But how can we improve flexibility and risk isolation to make DeFi attractive for those institutions?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think for institutions, the biggest problem is the wallet. Like normally the wallet has a private key, like who controls the private key? And like what if the private key is lost? So no one can afford that. And I think to attract the institutional users, we need better infra. So it's not only about the DI, but more about the wallet, especially the multi-sig wallet technology. So now we have a better thing called the smart wallet. It can be like the multi-sig is just a very small part of the features that a smart wallet can provide. And in JOJO, we support the smart wallet from day one. So we support a smart contract to be a trader, has a 100% fully accessibility to all the features. So actually, a smart wallet is just a kind of smart contract and has some kind of very special functions that can make it be like used in some kind of situations. Yeah. So what I want to say is that JOJO would really care about all kind of users, especially those professional guys. They may manage the fund of others, and they don't want it to be I can only use my own wallet to trade here. So that means I cannot use my customer's wallet. I cannot use the institutional fund to trade here. No, we support it from day one. We have a very how to say we have a good design of the fund operators and trade operators. So like we separate those two roles. You can cite someone that can send orders, like trade on your behalf, or someone can move the fund on your behalf, and this can all be like smart contract, like the multi-sig wallet or smart wallet. Everything is fine, and you don't need to like some decentralized exchange. They cannot support a very complex signature of the smart contract of the smart wallet, but JOJO supports that. We support just like you are just a very normal user if you are using a multi-sig wallet or safe wallet or smart wallet, anything.
I like what you're doing. I
Mm.
like it sounds good. Like it sounds like something that should be used by retail as well, by people, investors who are gearing up for the next DeFi summer, right?
Yes, yes, the smart wallet is super important. Yeah, and I think now people is while they are focused on layer tools, there are like 100 layer tools every day. But actually, what we need is not so much layer tools, but a better way to onboarding users, which is the smart wallet.
Yeah. So you're seeing tremendous volume, right? You're seeing people use smart wallet. I'm wondering when DeFi summer is coming, or is it coming this year, or is it coming next year?
Yeah, it's a good question. Yeah, I'm also waiting for the defense summer again. Well, I think it's possibly next year actually. So I think DeFi summer is driven by the retail users. It's not an institutional summer. It's like retail normal users, just like you are very normal users. They it grows from the community, but not the institute. But for now, the federal rate is so high, and actually there is not so much liquidity in the normal users. They need to pay a very high rate for their loans, and they just don't have so much money to buy and to invest in like DeFi protocols. And well, if you check the price, you will find that Bitcoin still in a very high price, but all those altcoins are like they're well keep going down. Um, so that means the driven force of this round is actually from the institute, from the Wall Street. They have ETF and they only buy Bitcoins. So only if the federal rate like down like 100 bips or 200 bips, and then the retail users has a buying power again, and we will see the growth of the DeFi. I mean, actually, DeFi is well, the developers keep building, so we provide much better products than like 2 or 3 years before. But the product still needs their users to to have enough money to spend on that, to like use it. Yes, we well essentially, we just handle the buy and sell demand from our users, right? So if they don't have liquidity in their hand, so they cannot have any like buy or sell power or yeah.
So if the rails are going to be there for when the users have their liquidity, makes sense to me.
Yes, yes.
Sounds good. So I want to thank you very much for your time today. I learned a lot today. I have one last question. It's how can
Mhm.
people find out more information about you, about JoJo? How can users or clients, how can they do that?
Yeah. So the best way is just go to our website. It's jojo.exchange. And you will find nearly everything you need there. Like you can go to the FAQ to find our Discord, Twitter, and more like information about the product. And also you can follow Twitter like JOJO slash exchange. And also you can follow me. Well, if you are a Farcaster user, you can also like follow me on Farcaster. Yes, I will post a very like something I don't post it on Twitter, but I will post it very frequently on Farcaster.
Awesome. Um, Thank you very, very much for your time today.
Thank you. Thank you so much.